Hello and welcome to another video. It's OT19 World Team Gamer 19,000, and I'm here today to show you all how to optimize the champion fighter in Baldur's Gate 3. So yeah, first of all, let's just start off with straight up the levels. I'm assuming most people know what the champion fighter is because it's really simple to explain, but just in case anyone does know, champion fighter is, at least in D&D, the subclass that you give to a new player. It's very basic, nearly has nothing special, but the one feature it does have that makes it special kind of can generate like hype for a new player. So yeah, for this build, I will be assuming you can respec with Withers the goat. If you can't respec, then tough. Go respec, bro. Like it's not that serious. Go respec. Like you're come on. There's no game mode. Like I guess if you want, like make it artificial. I don't know. It's just dumb to me. Just respect. It's never that serious, man. It never is. Unless you're doing like a challenge run for your YouTube channel, then like yeah, I could understand not wanting to respec, but still, I mean it's kind of dumb. It's a feature of the game. Do it. Alright. So for level one, we'll be taking fighter, mostly for those Constitution saving throw proficiency. This is absolutely massive, and I'm pretty sure none of the other classes we're taking today gives you Constitution saves. Yeah, none of the other classes give you. Strength saves are pretty useless, but Constitution having it for this build is extremely important. And also, as a fighter, we get proficiency in every weapon in the game, every armor of the game, shields, and all of that. And yeah, we do also get second wind, which allows us to do a little bit of healing, and we do get a fighting style. For our fighting style, we'll be taking the two weapon fighting. Two weapon fighting basically reads as such. When you make an offhand attack, you can add your ability modifier to the damage of the attack. This basically allows us that when we attack with an offhand weapon, we deal more damage. Now, at level 2, we'll start taking monk levels. So at level 1 in monk, we actually get a bunch of really cool stuff. But the most important stuff is our martial arts feature. We get martial arts dexterous attacks. Attacks with monk weapons and unarmed attacks skill for your dexterity instead of strength if your dex is higher. Then we also get martial arts death strikes. Attack with monk weapons and unarmed attacks deal 1d4 bludgeoning damage unless their normal damage is higher. And then we got the martial arts bonus unarmed strike. After making an attack with a monk weapon or unarmed, you can make another unarmed attack as a bonus action. So here, as you can see, it's pretty damn strong. We also do have unarmored defense, which I assume some versions of this build wear armor. I've seen others that don't. I personally will not be wielding armor because I feel like this build gets way too little feats, and the feats it does get, I don't really want to spend it on like getting a 20 dexterity. So I think I will just stay with taking the good old graceful cloth. We do get flurries of blows as a bonus action at level 1. If we spend one key point, we can punch twice in a quick succession. Now, aside from that, we're going to be skipping all the way to level 6, because that's when we're going to stop taking monk levels. I'll be going over the important features that you'll be using most of the time. First of all, we have unarmored movement. This increases your movement speed by 10 feet when you're not wearing an armor or shield. In this build's about mobility. And we already have a really good mobility, but nah, you don't always want to be wasting your bonus action on doing a shadow step. So maybe sometimes it would just be better to just walk up to someone. Now we do have step in the wind, dash and disengage. These we'll most likely never be using because our boots that allows us to take a bonus action dash beforehand. So next we got Way of the Shadow. Monk is going to be our subclass. Way of the Shadow basically allows us to cast Darkness for free. For 2 key points, I mean, which in Baldur's Gate 3, that's actually not much of an issue because of there's like the amulet. There's the amulet of monkish. I don't remember what it's called, but it basically allows you to regain a bunch of key points, and yeah, I think it's like once per day you can regain a crap ton of key points. Also, with Baldur's Gate 3, the way is like you can just take short rest whenever you want and take as many long rests as you want. I've heard some people say that taking too many long rests can affect quests. I have never ran into that, like, ever. I know in Act 1, like, again, don't take them sparingly, though. Like, don't be dumb with it. Like, make sure you use all of your short rest and, like, you're on, like, low HP, and then take a long rest. Don't be dumb. Like, like, if in a fight, you wasted 0 resources, don't take a short rest. Like, be a little bit intuitive with it, and then you should be fine. Yeah, with Way of the Shadows, we do get Pacifier Trace, which is decent, but overall I don't think it's worth it. But we do get Shadow Arts Darkness, which allows us to cast Darkness by wasting 2 key points, which is a little bit expensive, but trust me, it will most likely be worth it. Also, I did forget to mention race and the ability bonuses, so I guess I'll just mention that right here. For race, I think probably Drow will be your best option, simply because Drow can free cast Darkness. Um, can like free cast Darkness. I think at level 5 they can free cast. Yeah, at level 5 they can cast Darkness once per day. Long rest. So which is pretty damn cool. To cast darkness is without spending 2 key points is extremely nice. And for ability scores, I would recommend maxing out your dexterity. I think your wisdom score doesn't. If you're doing the unarmored way of this build, if you're doing the armored version of this build, then your what's it called? Wisdom doesn't matter. I probably would recommend having 17 dexterity, 16 wisdom, and then 15 constitution. With this build, you most likely won't be seen, or or make the constitution. No, because you'll increase it. Yeah, you have to keep it at 15. So yeah, at level 4, we do get a feat, which allows us to. We'll be taking here a plus 1 to dexterity, making it 18, and plus 1 to constitution, making it 16. So now our HP should be around the same as an average cleric or everyone else. At level 5, we do gain stunning strikes, which we may be able to use if we really have to, but overall, I feel like they're not really necessary. Also, we do get extra attack, and with the Way of Shadows, we get Cloak of Shadows, which I'm pretty sure, which I actually don't really. Oh, we can become invisible if we are obscured. It does cost an action though, which does kind of suck, but in reality, we most likely won't be using it. And at level 6, we do get some pretty cool features. We get improved movement, so we get 15 more feet of movement. So in the total 15, key empowered strikes. So now our monk punches are considered magical for overcoming resistances. And then Way of Shadow, we do get Shadow Step, which Shadow Step basically is a teleport. If an area is in light or heavily obscured, if an area is light or heavily obscured, we can just teleport into there. And also, an affected enemy has advantage on their next melee attack roll. So basically, we can just teleport into darkness, stab once, gain advantage, then stab again. And this allows us to get our sneak attack guaranteed, which is really. And also, this gives us cover. And I'm pretty sure if someone's in darkness, they can't take opportunity attacks. Also, if you are in darkness, this does allow you to teleport darkness to darkness. If you are in darkness, you do. I'm pretty sure no one can hit you in them. So no one could like Eldritch blast you in darkness or shoot you or throw something at you, which is extremely good. Also, I don't think someone can like even in general. I don't think you can cast like any like big AOE spells in darkness. I'm pretty sure you can't. I don't think you can throw an ice storm in darkness or like at least center it in darkness. I think you have to like weird. I don't know. Darkness in Baldur's Gate 3 is surprisingly really annoying and really powerful, and there's a bunch of NPCs that use it, which honestly I low-key do kind of hate. But yeah, now once we take those 6 levels, so overall we're level 7 right now because of the first level fighter dip we took. So now we'll be taking some rogue levels. Now you may be asking, why take rogue levels? First of all, sneak attack, getting an extra 2d6 damage is extremely nice. Being able to dash as a bonus action, also extremely nice. Expertise in skim skills. This can be your lock picker and all that. But in reality, we're doing it because of fast hands. If you don't know what fast hand does, have you played Baldur's Gate 3? That's partly a joke. Basically, you get an additional bonus action every single one of your turns. Yeah, it's also PA attacks. It allows you to do it more shadow stepping, more offhand melee attacks. Overall, it's extremely powerful and probably even a little bit broken. Some would say. Um, Again, it's definitely broken, and if you don't think it is, you're lying to yourself. But once we take those 3 levels of Thief Rogue, we'll be level 10, and then aside from there, I think we'll be taking 2 more levels of Fighter to gain Action Surge, which allows us to take an extra action, and then the Champion Fighter, which gives us an improved critical hit, allowing us to crit on a 19. Now, just because we finished with the levels part, here comes the most important part of almost every Bars Gate 3 build, the items. So now, we'll kind of be doing these items based on how important they are, at least in my opinion. So yeah, the most important item for this build, in my opinion at least, is the graceful cloth. This gives us a plus 2 to dexterity and advantage on any dexterity saving throws or checks. This makes us probably the best lockpicker in the game with our rogue levels and overall just in general. Also our jump distance is increased by 5 feet. Also we do gain a plus 1 to dexterity and saving throws, so plus one to our dexterity and to our dexterity saving throws. Not dexterity and saving throws. My fault. Our dexterity checks, we would get a better one. This can be gotten in Act 1 near the Gift Yankee Crash by Lady Esther. Don't worry, even if you do kill her because she is a weirdo, you will still get it. She still drops it. So no matter what, you can kill her, you can trade with her. No matter how you get this, you will still be getting it. Yeah, overall really important, and I think once you get this you'll probably never be taking it off. I personally do not like its color scheme, so I would recommend that you dye it a different color, because I think when you dye it like black or white or the black and white color, I think it actually looked really good. Next, we get the Eversight Ring. This allows us to never be blinded. This basically allows us to see in any darkness of any choice. Basically, this is extremely important. This can be gotten in extremely early Act 2. I think all you have to do is finish Last Light in. Well, not extreme. Okay, you have to finish the Last Light in and the Moon Lantern. So this is like middle of Act 2. But yeah, once you get this, it's so good. You may be asking, oh, in darkness, wouldn't I be having disadvantage to hit? I'm pretty sure it would be normal because how darkness works is you have disadvantage to hit, but I'm pretty sure you would also have advantage to hit on someone. So it may cancel it out, but no matter what, if you use Shadow Step, you will be having advantage. So just make sure every turn, even if you teleport 1 millisecond next to you, make sure to always just Shadow Step. Just to always gain advantage and at least make it normal. Or cause I don't know how I don't know like how advantage scaling in darkness works. Because I know in D&D technically, if your opponent can't see in darkness and they're both blinded, it would just be normal. But that's granted. That's D&D. I don't know how Baldur's Gate 3 Darkness works. Not to the extent at least, because I haven't played. Because I am playing in my new campaign a Shadow Monk. Yeah, because in my new campaign I am playing as Kratos, which actually check my video. It's on my channel. It's my most recent video at the time this is posted on how to play Kratos in D&D 5e. It's actually a really cool build. And Eversight Ring can be gotten in Act 2, very important. Next, we got the Knife from the Undermountain King. Basically, it's a plus 2 short sword, which is nice. And also, this increases our critical hit score. So to crit with this weapon, we need a 18 if you count our champion fighter. So yeah, now our critical chance, we crit on an 18, 19, or 20, which is really strong. Also, this has the Great Weapon Master effect, where when we roll two when we roll a 2 or 1 on the damage dice, we can re-roll it, which is nice. And also, this has Shadow Blade. You have advantage on attack rolls against lightly or heavily obscured targets when using this blade. So I'm pretty sure that this means we always be neutral or at least have advantage. I think if we Shadow Step, we will have advantage. But if we're neutral, we'll have. I think with this weapon, it will be neutral if you don't Shadow Step. So yeah, take that into account. Yeah, once we do get our ring though, we're just gonna be attacking with advantage out the wazoo. Next, we do get Bloodthirst, which this weapon can be gotten by peacefully dealing with Orin. Basically, if you don't know what this weapon does, it's probably the most powerful weapon in the game. Basically, a creature hit with this weapon receives vulnerability to piercing damage. Our Knife of the Other Mountain King does piercing damage. This does piercing damage. This basically allows us to double any piercing damage that we do. And no, I did check. Sneak attack does slashing instead of piercing damage, which that's kind of dumb. It should scale off your weapon, but I do understand probably why they didn't want to do that because it is kind of OP. So yeah, for most of the game, you would mostly have the Knife of the Other Mountain King in your main hand, like stabbing with it. But once you peacefully settle your differences with Orin, you will steal the Bloodthirst, wield the Bloodthirst in your main hand, then the Knife of the Other Mountain King in your offhand. Because you'd still get the crit bonus, but I don't know. I don't know if you get. I think you would only get advantage on enemies if they're lightly obscured in with the offhand. But by Act 3, you should most likely have the Eversight Ring. So you most likely will be getting advantage either way. So yeah, two very good items. Now, the surgical subduction amulet, this is pretty good because when you score critical hit on a humanoid, the wearer can paralyze the target for 2 turns. Now, this is an amulet, which does kind of go against another amulet monks can wear. Let me pull it up because I forgot it existed. So let me pull it up. Now, this would go against it in when you first look at it, but if you look at it a little more, the amulet that allows you to regain key points, this one, it's a once per long rest thing that you can regain 2 key points. So in not even in theory, like once you use the sentient amulet to regain key points, you could just switch to surgical subduction amulet. There's not you don't lose the key points, you will keep them. So it probably is very smarter to do it. Also, the sentient amulet can be turned into a very rare item at the beginning of Act 3, which allows you to regain key points equal to your martial arts dice. So it will always be higher, unless if you like roll a 1, then you're kind of screwed. But hey, what's the worst that can happen, eh? But still, the Surger subject element. I think this with the monk element are must-haves, and yeah, they're both really good. And this build will be critting. So far, the build crits on on an 18. This build crits on, so this it's really useful. Next, we get the Helda's Blutes, which allows us to teleport and make everyone in the area to take 2d8 fire damage. This is pretty good. Also, this allows us to ignore the effects of difficult terrain, and when we fail a saving throw, we can actually use a reaction to succeed instead. This is actually pretty damn. It's a good item, no matter what. Um, yeah, it's just good. It's not necessary, but I definitely would recommend having it. Also, we do have Starvox Horn Helmet, which basically this is what the helmet gives us. We gain Dark Vision, which we already have, so that doesn't matter. But the number we need to roll a critical hit is reduced by 1. This is super strong. So now we have an 18. So now this would decrease us to a 17. This is really powerful. So now we crit on 17 or 18s and we can permanently paralyze someone if we crit. Then you're starting to see the synergy here now. Next, we got the Shade Slayer Cloak, which basically, when while hiding, the number you need to roll a critical hit is reduced by 1. Meaning, on your best turn, you most likely throw up darkness, shadow step to it, take the hiding action. I think okay. Here's what you do: you would cast darkness with your action, teleport to it with shadow step, action surge, hide, and then stab once to get your, and then just stab them to get them weak to piercing. Now, every one of your turns, take the hide action, stab once to get vulnerability to piercing damage, stab again to just deal dumb amounts of piercing damage. It is insane how much piercing damage you can do. Yeah, it's very strong. This me gotten, I want to say, decently early into Act 3. All you had to do is just go to the lower city sewers, to the guild hall, which can be done pretty easily, in my opinion, and then boom, you can get it. But yeah, that's kind of all for today's build. If you guys did enjoy this build, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any tips or tricks for this build that you think might be useful, make sure to also leave that down below. But yeah, that's all from your boy OT19 signing out. Peace.